Caribbean Seaplex.
The Seaplex, the best thing on what we think is probably one of the best things, particularly on Royal Caribbean ships that visit Australia, the Quantum class ships. This thing's magnificent.
We keep referencing it to a PCYC. So, you know, your youth clubs, it is the size of one of those.
Yeah, it's a huge community centre at sea that keeps the whole family active.
Yeah,
really.
pretty much.
There's always activities there for all ages. Hey Deb.
Hey Matt.
Do you know what the one bit of advice is that I always give new cruisers?
What's that?
They should seize the day.
Oh.
But it is the 8th night on this cruise and we are here to have some fun on Quantum of the Seas with bumper cars. Check this out. How cool is this? You get to do bumper cars while you're at sea.
Okay, so that's step 4 on how to get to your food on your first day and 5 steps for first-time cruisers.
That's a lot of mouthful.
That is a lot of mouthful. So now we're heading off to the lifts at the rear of the ship because that's where you want to get to Windjammer. That's the best way to get your food quick and easy on day 1 for first-time cruisers. So rear of the ship we go. Hey Deb,
Hey Matt.
what did one ocean say to the other?
Oh, dear, what?
Nothing. They just waved.
So high I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through.
Hey.
Oh, let's add some audio. Hello, hello.
Hey everyone, welcome to our beautiful live tonight.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Doing well. Hello, the Down Under Cruisers. I see you there. Who else have we got out there tonight? Say hello in the chat. Let's get all the algorithm thing happening and
Know whether or not any of the US people have got up nice and early, especially on July the 4th.
Hey, Robin Ellie, welcome.
Hey, guys.
Good to see you here, guys. Looking forward to cruising with you later in the month.
This is true.
That will be fun. But tonight we are here because we are speaking about our biggest cruise of the year. We have it coming up. Hey, Amy from the Cruise Crazed fam. Lisa, hello from. Oh yes, we do have some people from the US.
Somebody got up nice and early.
Yeah,
Well done.
Hello, Kerry. Lots of people jumping into the chat. Good to see. We are here because we are announcing it is 100 days tomorrow. Until we go on our biggest cruise of the year. We are going to cross the Transpacific.
18 nights.
18 nights.
Honolulu back to Sydney. So really excited to have a chat tonight about quite a number of things, what these Transpacific cruises are like, anyone's experiences, ideas on shore tours, travel insurance, where you're staying. So lots of things. It's an interactive chat. So please pop in your comments as we go along and we'll answer them. And then we're also going to join our lovely Carolyn.
Yes.
Who has, she's been one of the moderators of our page for those who are in the group for the cruise leaving on the 13th of October this year.
Yep.
I do know there are some people joining us that are doing future ones. So hi to those people, and hopefully this will help them get some tips and tricks as well.
Yeah. It's certainly a big adventure, and you'll see on some of our previous videos, we've been preparing over a few cruises now with everything we need for this particular cruise, how to pack and organize the room better. We've got a laundry video coming up. G'day, Chris. Welcome to the chat. We've got that laundry video coming up soon too, because unlike some cruise lines on Royal, it's only a paid laundry service. So that video will drop in a few days. Deb found a great solution for that. But let's jump. Oh no, just waiting for Caroline. Oh, there's Caroline. We will add Caroline to the group. Hello, Caroline.
Hi, Caroline.
How are you?
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Always welcome. Like, we've just been saying hi to everybody. So we do have so far at least one person from the USA that was brave enough to get up this morning.
Oh,
so hats off to them.
Yeah, definitely.
So, Caroline, I've got to ask, it's a huge offering. Everyone who's tuned in, I'm sure, has been part of a cruise Facebook group before. There's such a helpful place to exchange information on whether it's where to stay or activities on board, all those sorts of things. But taking on the mammoth task of moderating the group and managing that Facebook group, hats off to you firstly, yes. But tell us how you came to be doing that.
So when I first joined the group 11 months ago, it was only maybe a week or so later that the lady that was running the group could no longer go on the group and was asking for volunteers. And I already run a group for Cavaliers here in Sunbury. So I thought, what the heck? I'll put my hand up, see if anyone else wants to, and no one else did. So I started doing it. So yeah, that's how it all started about.
You. We appreciate it.
Yeah, and I think
it's fun. I enjoy it.
There's, I think, about 750 people in the group now.
No, 896 or something.
Jesus.
I think I saw.
Actually, it's 854. I think we're up to.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, there's quite a few joined in the last week or so. So yeah, it's speeding up.
No, that's fantastic.
Well, we've been kind of going through, I guess, the sort of cruise group and looking
a lot of the common questions. Hi, Hals. And we just thought tonight would be a good opportunity as we're nearly that 100 days tomorrow, and sort of have a bit of a chat about what some of the common questions are that you've seen in the group, a couple of the different sort of just facts about the group that we might have seen along the way over the last couple of months. So I think starting at the beginning, obviously we're heading off. The ship we're heading on is Ovation. So that's Ovation is 8 years old.
I'll take your word for that.
Yeah, no, look, I've got the figures here already. Got them up on the screen already. But this will also be the start of what is Ovation's last season in Australia.
Yeah, so very sad.
Ovation, after this season, it gets swapped out for Anthem.
Oh, hi Lisa and hi Sue. Sorry, just saying hi to everyone.
But we leave from Hawaii now. I'm just trying to look here. When does it leave? October 13th is when it leaves. And you've also, again, as part of helping break the ice for a lot of the people, have been starting to organise a whole range of activities, Caroline.
Yeah, a few people were keen to do some meetups beforehand, and with people doing different activities in Hawaii before we leave and arriving on different days. I did a bit of a poll to see when people wanted to do that meetup. And so I went with the Friday afternoon and the Saturday afternoon, and that way it leaves people the opportunity to go out for dinner or to go to the football match on the Saturday night, which I'm going to. So I did those and also just put the information up for the football game as well. And I think there's over 25 people keen to go to the football.
Fantastic.
So hopefully we might be able to figure out a way of meeting when we get there, or sitting together, or we're still trying to figure that part of it out. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, the hotels that most people are staying at are not too far apart, really. Like when we did, I think there was that poll. They're fairly close, and I think there's a lot of us staying at very similar ones as well. There seems to be a lot of Aussies going over.
Well, that's why I did that particular poll. Yeah, so people could sort of see who else was staying at their hotel as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That was really good.
I'll just pull that up, actually, because I think that was quite a... Let me just pull that one up. Whoops. That one there. Yeah, so this was a survey that...
nearly a month ago.
About a month ago that you did, and I know people are still sort of ticking in, but if you are in the Facebook group and you're curious as to where everyone is staying while on this cruise, by all means jump in and add to this, because it's cool to know where everyone's staying. I see a number of us are staying at the Ala Moana.
Yeah, that's where we are.
That's where we are.
Yep.
And so I think...
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. We'll be neighbours while we're there, Caroline. And I think there's a Walmart and a big shopping centre near there too, isn't there?
Yeah, it's just a bridge. There's a bridge that goes across from the shopping centre to the hotel over the road.
Yeah, excellent.
I'm just going to quickly jump in a question. Andy's asked, how often do we go on cruises?
Deb,
I think
it's confession time.
Confession time, right here. Just quickly, I've probably done about 16, but in the next 16 months, I think we have 18 booked, so slightly addicts, sure. So we do have quite a few under our belt and to come, which is pretty exciting. So sorry, thank you, Andy, for your question.
So just back to this, I noticed though when I was having a look at the where are you staying before the cruise, there's 13% of the people that responded have actually said that they're going to be on Ovation, so they're back-to-backing.
Yep.
So
there's actually a couple of people that are back-to-back-to-back.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, so they do the Alaskan partners first.
Wow, there you go.
Amy, you've got Carnival Splendor Cruise on October 13, part of a back-to-back as well. We'll be doing that from the Transpacific. Maybe we'll bump into you when we get back into Sydney.
We might just do that.
So yeah, like I think that was a really cool idea that you were able to do that, because it helped people work out as well where some of the other places might be that people can, meet up, find places in between those different hotels as well, which is a really smart idea, particularly for a cruise like this.
Yeah, with
When
people
I-
coming from so many different places.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. They are, aren't they? Oh, it froze for a second. Sorry, I'm back. I actually think if we talk about the polls that have gone up, I think we've put a couple of the screenshots together. I think they've been really helpful for people based off questions that are being asked. So I think the traveling with kids one was quite a popular one, and I see that question come up a lot, as you would, Caroline.
Yes. No, that was a really good one to put up.
I like this additional.
I love that.
This additional one, big kids 60 plus. I mean, I would have put it at 40 plus so that I could have been in that bracket. But I'm happy to hang out with the 17-year-olds as well.
Good for you. But no, I think it seems to be quite a lot of single kid cruises as well. Like just one child coming on, and I think a lot of people have been concerned that the kids won't find friends, but we keep backing it up and saying, like, we have 4 children, but 3 are adults, so we only travel with 1 generally. So he goes on board alone, and there's not been one time where he's been lonely. I think by day 1, maybe 2 at the absolute latest, they find friends. Especially, and we have done videos on the Seaplex as well. So that's like a PCYC on board. It is it's got all the courts, the fields, it's got laser tags, bumper cars. Oh my gosh, what else? Archery and soccer and basketball and table tennis tables, which is generally what Noah does, our youngest. He goes up there and just starts playing, and kids join and they join. So for those who are concerned that the kids might be a bit lonely, we've not experienced it. And I think 18 days in particular, those kids are going to find friends.
All right.
I'm just having a quick check. There's lots of comments coming through. Hi to all those that have just joined us. Barry has asked, wondering if the drinks package is worth it. So this is another big topic.
What are you?
It's a very common question.
It is, isn't it? What have you sort of seen or heard, or what do you feel, Caroline?
A lot of people comment that it depends on what sort of drinks that you would have on board. Are you a coffee drinker? Do you like alcoholic drinks? How many would you have in a day? And then a couple of people have actually posted some screenshots of the drink prices in US dollars. So people can sort of figure out how much that they would spend if they were just buying them individually, and then be able to compare that to the actual drink package. I'm not a drinker.
Yeah.
I just went with the soda, the soft drink package. And of course, people, if you're in a cabin with someone else, then you've got to take into account the person want a drink package, or do they want the refreshment package? That's the other option.
Yeah.
It's an individual thing, really. It is.
It absolutely
just depends
is.
on how much of the package you use, or will you end up paying a lot less by just doing it one drink at a time?
Yeah, I've got to admit myself, like we often get the drink package, on the sort of 7, 8, 9 night cruises. For us, we like the fact that we just don't have to have a bill at the end. We don't have to worry about it. There's a freedom in that. But I have struggled a little bit with, because I know I'll have 1 or 2 big nights on those cruises that probably end up making it worthwhile. But 18 nights of regularly having a big night, I'm just not sure.
At the moment, we have it. We have booked it.
Yeah. But Barry, what I would say to you, just to there is a couple of really good online, and I'll pull them out and I'll put them in the comments as a pinned comment at the end of the live stream. A couple of really good websites where you can actually go in and calculate how many drinks you would have a day. So if you're having an orange juice with breakfast or 2 orange juices with breakfast, and you might have 2 bottles of water and then a Coke with lunch, and then maybe a cocktail with or an afternoon beer, and then a cocktail in the evening and a red wine with dinner, and it can kind of calculate and give you a rough idea if it is actually going to be worthwhile. I think one of the things I would say is when we've done that in the past and we've looked at it, we've actually found that it does actually tend to work out that the drinks package is actually quite worthwhile.
As Carolyn said, individual though.
Yeah. It all depends on how and what you would drink. I think that's a really good point that Rob and Ali have there, that people tend to think of the drinks package as just being alcohol, but if you like your coffees, a soft drink with lunch, as I was saying, and things like that, it does work out. And the one thing to remember as well is, I think with the drinks package, when you buy it, particularly if you're buying from Australia, and I believe this is starting to change in the US as well, when your gratuities are included in the final price. So when you're buying in Australia now, and I've seen this recent commentary out of the US as well, the price is the price. So that includes your gratuities, so that you're not paying, like if you would on board, an extra 18 or 22% or whatever it is on top of the price, plus then doing your currency conversion. So it can often work out.
So yeah, I think it's a question that will go around and around and around for many, many years to come.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you just got to individually, and like now who just said it? Down Under Cruises had commented that they did an experiment and put the money for drinks packages in OBC and came away with cash rather than purchase the drinks package. So yeah, again, try that. There's so many ways to do it. I think it's you've just got to try and weigh it up, and maybe just the first time, give it a shot with it or without it. Try and add it up. It's just a really hard question to answer for everyone, I think. So individual. All right, what else did we was there any other polls that we had in there?
Well, I might let's have a look. I actually just wanted to talk about this next question. So you would have seen this one a fair bit as well, Caroline, the what to wear.
Yes.
And we've seen this.
I've actually posted that a few times myself.
Yeah.
Especially with the temperature difference between Tahiti, Hawaii, and New Zealand.
Yeah.
Yes.
100%. I think I put up the different temperatures as well.
Yeah, so let me jump over to that. So this is where we're going. So yeah, 29 degree to 23 degree average at night in Hawaii at that time of year in October. 24 to 20 average in Tahiti. Auckland 16 to 12 at that time of the year. A bit chilly, and then starting to come back up again by the time we get to Sydney, 23 to 14. Sorry to our US viewers, that is in Celsius, not Fahrenheit, because we live in the real world.
Oh, wow. You're a brave man. You're a brave man.
So, yeah, look, I think, this is a tricky one because of how sort of far ahead, or how much the difference is in this.
But yeah, so it's going to be packing for a few seasons. I think.
Exactly.
Oh well.
I think someone actually suggested to design your packing around wearing layers.
Yeah, that's probably exactly right.
So that you can either add a jacket on or take the jacket off, depending on the weather on the day. And also people have commented that it can get quite cool, especially at night on the ship with the air conditioning on and stuff. So that's another thing to think about. So like I've bought recently a few light jackets, but warm enough, hopefully in the warmer weather, and then some heavier stuff for a bit later. So,
Yeah.
but then you've got to consider the weight of the suit as well.
Weight is definitely
with
going
all
to
the clothes.
Because pretty much everyone's flying, unless you're doing the back-to-back people.
Or
You're
they're
either
coming from
flying
the
either
US.
way.
Yep.
No, but you're either flying home or
yeah.
Yeah.
So everyone's pretty much got to factor the weight in.
One of the interesting things, this kind of ties into a question that I'll put up from Rob and Ali in a sec, that they've just put in there about researching flights, and the packing. There's also all the theme nights to consider. And I'll just jump ahead quickly in my little pre-prepared slideshow that I've got here. Bring that back up. So if we have a look here, this is somebody put this in the group a little while ago, and this was their recollection from, I believe, what had happened last year or happened on the way over, perhaps. But there's a formal day, couple of casual nights, then a tropical night, then a back to the 80s night, which we'll be well prepared for because we have an 80s cruise in August we're doing.
Yes.
Then there's a 70s colourful night, which again,
we got that one too.
Got that one too. A white night, a dress to impress night. What else? We've got a Halloween night and another dress to impress night in there.
That's right. We're on board on Halloween, aren't we?
We are. So
yeah.
I think
The last night.
the thing is, like I've given some consideration to that, and I'm actually wondering, given that we're going to fly over, is do we go because Walmart's nearby and go and do some shopping over in Hawaii? And pick up some of those things, save some of the weight going over at the very least.
They've probably got much better stuff than what we've got over there. Wow, that's a really good tip, actually. Yes, let's do that.
Really good.
I'll throw that in the mix. But yeah, so that's a bit of an idea. And packing for all of that. I mean, you can go as much into it as you like or not. I mean, for those who haven't cruised before, theme nights aren't mandatory. Don't feel obliged to do it. Have fun if you want to. But definitely don't feel like people are going to be looking and you go, oh, you didn't dress up.
No. Look, I do have, I get at least look nice. Like if you're not going to
theme nights.
Yes, but on the theme nights, right? If you don't want to get dressed up, I'm gonna create controversy here.
Oh, jeez.
If you don't want to get dressed up on the dress to impress night, like to the nines, and all that, that's fine. But don't walk into the dining room in a t-shirt and daggy shorts. At least put some chinos and a button-up shirt on, fellas.
Each to their own.
Just a little bit of a standard on the night. But I don't know, like what have you seen any crazy packing tips or anything, Caroline, in the group so far?
No, but I've always been told to use packing cubes. And when I've done other trips, I've used packing cubes.
That's a whole other controversy. I hope Ali's not
to make
in this.
more space, but some people like, some people don't.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna before I'm not a packing cube guy, and before Rob and Ali start flooding the chat with trying to convert me, I'm going to come back to their other question up here, which was how did we research the flights and decide which ones to take and when to buy? For us, it was a pretty quick decision.
I think we booked ours back in.
We booked our flights pretty soon after we booked the cruise.
I don't even know when we booked it now.
So back in January.
January, yeah, okay, there you
go. And we looked at it. It's a 9.5-hour flight thereabouts from Sydney. We've obviously got to fly out of Brisbane now. We looked at the costs of flights, and even not that I'm a huge Jetstar fan, but for it was about a minimum of $480 was the savings between a Jetstar with all the premium add-ons and everything else, all the other airlines directly out of Brisbane. So, and everything out of Brisbane pretty much still had a connecting flight somewhere, whether that was in the US or here. So we booked that as early as we could. We got our prices for about $800, $880 each, I think it was.
Yeah, I think it wasn't
So-
too bad at all. Sorry, can I just say, Kerry, I agree with you. My mum taught me to roll too, so that's what I do. Sidebar.
Roll and use the packing cubes.
I still haven't used the packing cubes, so I'm not going to knock it until I've tried it. So whether it's this cruise, maybe
It
not.
was on another, I think it was a YouTube video that I saw, and said that when she gets there, all she does is she picks the packing cubes up and puts them into the drawers.
Yep.
She doesn't have to actually unpack everything.
Yeah, that's
She
what
just unzips
we see
them and
that
puts them in the
quite a
drawers.
lot.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I think maybe once we don't have Noah, packing cubes might be another go, but we kind of spread across for weight balancing across three suitcases at the moment.
Yeah, we'll get to that one, I think.
Can you buy clothes? This is a good question. Can you buy clothing on board for theme nights?
The only thing I have come across as far as buying things would be, so if it's a Hawaiian night, they might sell leis. Gatsby nights, you can do make your own classes, so you can actually go and make your fascinators and things like that. Not generally, it's not like they've got a stand of 80s costumes and that sort of stuff. But accessories, they do sometimes do classes to add into that as well. I think there was another comment I just saw.
There are a couple of sort of boutique-y places on there that you might be able to get a nice formal button up or things, but for the men. But that's really about it. There's not really for the aside from accessorizing, you wouldn't get much else on there on the ship itself.
All right. Sorry, I'm just going to do a quick shout out to Amber, who's having a 24th birthday after we get back. So can we all have a drink up on Halloween? Absolutely.
Yeah, we can arrange that. We'll see. Carolyn, what do you reckon? Do we put a Amber's birthday celebration meetup?
I'm sure there's probably lots of other birthdays as well, so that'll be interesting.
Definitely.
All right, Naomi.
What places can we expect rough weather? Well, we're kind of at the early part, the traditional cyclone season for the Coral Sea and sort of South Pacific is that starts in October. It's really hard to say that we're going to have it. I would with that much distance, I would think the ships.
Maybe going into New Zealand and out of New Zealand.
It might get a bit rough.
There generally is a little bit of rough seas there, but look, it's going to come down to the weather, I think, as well. So I think that one's a bit of a wait and see, I think, on that one.
Yeah. Look, I mean, I think you'll get sea days, but where you might get a bit rough, but it shouldn't be too bad on this cruise, I wouldn't think. All right.
All right. So what else do we have on here that we were going to? Do you want to talk about some people's ideas of shore tours? And Caroline, have you seen anything in particular that people are doing a lot more of, or any things to watch for?
A few people have been asking about that they have planned and what's available. And there's been quite a few sort of posts going backwards and forwards about what people are doing at different places. A lot of people like to book through the cruise line, but then you're paying a bit more for those. Myself, I haven't booked any tours with them at all. My own plans for Auckland, I'm getting on the hop on off bus and going to the museum and the Sky Tower. That's my place for there. And then with the Tahiti Islands, I'll just get off and see what's on offer for a couple of hour tours once I get there, which suggested that just to carry some American cash with you and just see what they have to offer.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think there's actually a comment. There's a bit of a story out today in some of the cruise news that I was watching earlier about, when you are looking at your shore tours and things, just a reminder, particularly in some of these really sort of more remote places like Tahiti, that if there is a ship diversion, so if there was bad weather, for example, you may not get a refund from a private provider. So it's probably just, it is a risk to remember. You'll get a refund from Royal Caribbean if you book with them. Not saying that you should. We certainly don't always do that. Like we've done it occasionally, but we, as a tendency, don't.
No, we get off and explore.
Yeah, we like to get off. It's similar to what you were saying, Caroline, getting off and sort of exploring and doing the hop on, hop off buses and.
Or you get off and there's generally locals there that are happy for you. So they'll approach you. They'll ask you where you want to go. If you've got some ideas of places that you want to see, let them know you bargain for prices or whatever, and they'll take you to those. So do your research before. So you agree on that is always a good option?
Yeah, I think the main thing is to make sure that your whatever tour that you organise gets you back with plenty of time before the ship's going to leave, because the cruise line's not going to wait for you if you haven't booked a tour through them. Hopefully that won't be too much of an issue with those little islands, because we don't really leave sort of too far, which is why I'm only looking for a tour that's just a couple of hours. And then get back to the ship. I've seen videos of people standing on the ship watching people running for the cruise line.
We've all seen those.
Trying to get on before the So that's not going to be me. Definitely not going to be me.
Me neither.
Barry, Barry's got a question here about hiring face masks and snorkels on board, or should we take our own? Barry, look, we do take our own from time to time. We're actually, just because of weight considerations, probably not going to on this cruise. When we're traveling from home or the Australian ports, we quite often will take our own full face masks. There's not anywhere on board that I'm aware of that you can hire from, but the providers will. Of any of the activities you're doing, they'll have the snorkel, snorkel hire for shore tours is generally included in the price. And if you get off the ship and then find somebody to take you on a tour, they'll generally have that included as well. We've got another question here. There's complimentary iFly for like 1 minute, or you pay for longer. That is true. If you're a key holder, you also get an additional private session, or like key holder only session. They'll have them scheduled throughout.
We do have a video on the key if anyone is interested, because I have seen some people ask some questions about the key. So if you want to jump onto our channel, we do have a full video on the key benefits, and you can make up your mind whether it is worth it or not. But it's something you have to book before you get on board.
Just got another question here. From Amber, does anyone know where we dock for all the stops to book for the activities to be picked up? So my understanding is it's Pier 2B, I think is what I saw today in Honolulu. In Tahiti, Maria and Raiatea, it's there's, I think, one main port in Tahiti. The other two, there's 2 islands, there's 2 locations, but that they possibly could go into dependent on weather. So we won't know that for certain, I believe, until the time. But most of the providers over there, if you book a tour with somebody that's not Royal Caribbean, you'll be able to tell them, and they generally will track and keep within their own circles of communication to get that so they'll know that information in advance.
Oh, I'm sorry. I really, really, really want to just acknowledge Jackson's comment. Has anyone been to Tahiti? Is it an ideal engagement place? Jackson, what do you got planned?
Yeah, have you, Jackson, maybe spoilt the surprise, perhaps?
You're the only one on this. If anyone's got any great tips on that one, jump them in and help Jackson out. I'm thinking it's for Jackson, might be for somebody else.
Yeah, could be. He could be asking for a friend, but if you've got any tips on that one, definitely jump down in the comments and ask. The one thing I will say, Jackson, is if you are thinking about something like that and you are cruising, get in touch or tell your friend to get in touch with the Royal Caribbean staff, because they can also organise some pretty impressive onshore engagement proposal type things.
Fun fact.
Or you could do what I did and just like kidnap.
There's a whole video. Matt and I got engaged on a cruise ship. Again, there's a whole video on that one of how Matt did that. So if you need some pointers here, Jackson, just message Matt.
He could tell his friend.
Or his friend. There you go.
Do Royal Caribbean let you take their beach towels on day trips? Yes, they do.
Absolutely.
They do.
So on Royal Caribbean, they're not in your cabin like on P&O, for example. The towels are in your cabin. On Royal Caribbean ships, you get them up from the pool deck and you'll have to actually tap your card and check them out. And then when you return them, you tap your card. So obviously if you lose them, whatever, they'll charge you for them. But, you get those ones from up on the pool deck. I think there was...
let's jump into this one. Alex, special needs activities for your partner with special needs. Are you meaning accessible? A bit of a tricky one to answer without knowing in more details. If you jump into the Royal Caribbean Planner on the website, it will actually show the different fitness levels and accessibility levels of all the different activities. But again, reach out to Royal Caribbean, because if you are on this cruise or any cruise line doing a similar cruise, reach out to the cruise line, because we've always found
we've seen people with all abilities of all different kinds. And as Matt just said, not knowing exactly what the abilities are. But yeah, it's so accommodating. It's such an easy ship to get around too. If they're in wheelchairs and things like that as well. I don't know if that's the case for this one, but there's definitely lots of things that you can be included in. Have you found that, Caroline? Have you seen much about that at all?
Well, my previous cruise that I've been on was a P&O cruise, and I've seen people with the electronic scooters. Not necessarily all older people, but those wheelchairs, people with walking sticks, things like that.
Yeah, no, most of them are pretty good.
Yeah, I think with the activities, if they're talking about the tours, it would depend on where you were going. And when I did tours, some of them did say that you may have to walk across like cobblestones and things like that. And that's all sort of a guide to know whether, depending on the circumstances, whether that's suitable or not for the person with the special needs.
Exactly. And most of them will mention that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm going to just bring this question up now. This is probably leads into the next question, which will be about travel insurance, because we've seen that a bit.
I can answer this one.
Is there a doctor on board a cruise ship?
I have seen a doctor on board a cruise ship once. In one of my early cruises, I woke up with a complete wry neck, could not move, could not even slightly. And luckily I did have cruise insurance. So that's a whole other thing as well, because I think that doctor's appointment, like literally they gave me like an injection just to release the muscles. And I think the bill was something like $600, but my cruise insurance covered that completely. And that I usually use Covermore insurance. I think a lot of people do on cruises. Obviously you can have all different sorts, but no, there definitely is a doctor on board, but it will cost you. So definitely worth taking out travel insurance, and especially for these longer ones. I think it's quite worth it. But just as a little side note to that, Matt and I, obviously we do travel a lot. So we've actually taken out the 12-month.
We have an annual policy.
Which, to be honest, I think adding it up, I think we had to go on 2 or 3 trips.
It was 3, yeah.
3 to maximize that. So just, not a bad little option there.
Yeah, so definitely, if you've got any recommendations about travel insurance, drop them in the comments for people. Any recommendations? If you are putting a recommendation, though, it might be handy for others that are looking as well. Just, maybe put a consideration in there about whether it was, you had some special needs or you were over a particular age group or family or whatever, because people might find that helpful. And good point, Kerry. Blood test as well. Doctor save your life on. Wow, there you go.
Fantastic. Great to see you still here, Kerry.
Yeah, so definitely, as you can see, it's worth it. Let's jump forward now. Let's just answer this question. Hales has a question. Is it true Transpacific cruises aren't at full guest capacity? Does anyone know? Caroline, I'll throw to you because I know this was a question in the group the other day.
Actually, I might have missed that question, but we did have this discussion the other night about how many empty cabins there. And that was quite some time ago that the person posted that. And I think at that time there was 213 cabins. But as to what we're at now, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the situation is.
I think a big consideration this year in particular is there's only, well, from Royal's perspective, only the one ship doing the Transpacific, because Quantum's going into dry dock in Singapore, so it finishes its season, goes from Seattle to, I think, Tokyo and Hong Kong, and then down to Singapore. Dry docks there before it then comes back to Brisbane, but it doesn't. So there's a big drop in capacity for October for Transpacific.
Yeah. Whereas the last 2 years they've had 3 ships doing it.
Yeah, that's right.
The 2 big ones and this.
Yeah, they had Quantum, Ovation, and Brilliance. I think it was Brilliance at the Seas. I think, yeah.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So what else have we got on our handy dandy?
Oh, let me have a look.
It's in there.
So many questions. Another question that's come up. I'll throw this. I saw this conversation the other day. There's this conversation about just remember, play nice in the conversations there, please. The question here the other day about getting around, particularly in Hawaii. If you are from the US or have traveled to Hawaii before, please, again, share either in the Facebook group or down in the comments tonight in the live chat here any suggestions on getting around. We did see this one the other day. Caroline, have you got your airport transfers and cruise terminal transfers sorted yet?
No. I'm going to Uber.
Yep.
As suggested by my travel agent, because it's just me in the car.
Yeah.
It's cheaper for me to Uber.
Might be interesting even to get.
So that's my plan.
Some of the US people's perspective on that one as well when they wake up, because I know it's very early in there at the moment. And just, if they've got any tips for us Aussies in particular coming over, if, on what the best way to get around is, that they know anything else than what we already have of the information.
Yes, well, we'll do that, and I will try and maybe do another live stream in a couple of months, at a more suitable time for our American
I think we've
friends.
had a bit of pushback from a lot of our US counterparts here that we do another one, and we might do it at the 50-day mark or something like that, and we'll make it at a different time so it's more conducive to them, so we can get all of their tips and tricks as well. So looking forward to organising that one as well.
Just getting the screen up.
You're getting all your bits and pieces. Caroline, is there anything else that you've seen in particular that stands out for you?
I think the other question that comes up a lot is cash.
Yep.
What currency to take, how much to take, do you use credit cards? And then needing, mainly when we're in Hawaii, needing the cash for tipping and things like that.
Yeah.
That's another one that's come up a bit.
Yeah. No, that's and I think that goes in so many different cruises, that just take some small local currencies for when you go to these islands in particular, especially in Tahiti and that.
Well, it was suggested to me to use Australia Post currency conversion and get order cash directly from them, and that way you can get smaller notes as
Mhm.
well, instead of sort of going to the currency exchange places, because it's obviously the exchange rate's not as good.
Yep.
And then I have a Wise card that I have
Yep.
Australian and American, and I'll put some New Zealand dollars on there as well, and I'll use that
Yeah, perfect.
as well. So yeah, that was what was suggested to me. Some people have credit cards that have no international transaction fees. Also,
Yep.
I think it just depends on how you set up now,
Yeah.
and how much cash you want to take is dependent on how you're going to spend it, sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so many options.
Yeah, I think cash is definitely helpful for the islands. Yeah, particularly if you want to sort of go to visit markets or organise private tours when you're there and things. Caroline, just going to jump to another question. Have you heard anything about any ukulele players that might be in, uke? It's uke. Uke as in ukulele.
Oh, see, I was thinking it was a casino game or
No,
something.
no, uke.
Is that what it
Uke as
means?
in ukulele.
I have no idea.
No.
All right.
No one's said anything about that. Maybe someone can start a post up and ask if people are playing instruments, and
Chris,
see how many people.
Definitely, Chris, jump into that group, mate, and put the message in there and do the call out, and maybe we can see some listen to some ukes. Cracking on. That'd be cool.
All right.
I'll just because I'll just say, like, there we go. It's definitely ukulele. See.
Hey.
So I was just going to say, like, it's actually interesting because I know in different cruises in the past we've seen people sort of get along and do that. Oh, somebody can play the triangle. Alex can play the triangle. Good job, Alex. We're starting to form a band. We've got 2 people now. But it's interesting because what we learned on the last cruise we were on, there was actually one of the F&B or bar managers, who's like head of the bars, was wandering around, and this gentleman we met one night, Wayan, he actually does the relief job. So he doesn't do a standard 9-month contract on a ship. He moves every couple of months to different ships relieving. And he's from Bali, and he actually last year did this trip we're doing in October, so the Transpacific on Ovation, and he actually arranged for a whole lot of Balinese costumes to be taken over onto the ship, and he's left them on the ship for the Balinese staff to be able to do dances and performances at random for the guests throughout the cruise. So apparently on these bigger cruises, it's encouraged. So
I thought just jump to just another question on here from Peter. Would like to try Royal Caribbean. Which ship would you recommend for a first sailing, Quantum class or smaller voyage? Go big or go home. I love the quantum class ships. Yes, they're huge, but they don't ever feel like massively crowded. And I think it depends who you're traveling with. As we've said, that Cplex area is so valuable for us with a child. So our youngest is about to turn 12. Like, we'd be lost without that. I don't know quite how he'd cope, because he's not, as we're watching actually in a lot of the comments about parents saying the kids don't necessarily want to go into the kids club, especially at that age. I think the younger ones, absolutely, they love the kids club. So look, I would always say Quantum, but there's nothing wrong with Voyager class either.
Yeah, look, and Voyager's going to be in Brisbane from next year.
Yes.
Oh, well, not next season, not this coming season, the following season, the 25-26 season.
Yeah, I think we're on that first one, aren't we?
We're on one of the first cruises on Voyager, and Voyager has things like the ice skating, and it went through the Royal Caribbean's AMPed upgrade program a couple of years ago and stuff. So, look, it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But definitely Cplex, if you're traveling with younger people, The Cplex on Quantum Class can't be beat in our view for ships out of Australia anyway. I mean, if you're in America, you lucky people have Icon class ships and Oasis class ships and all those lovely things. Utopia of the Seas is about to launch. I'm very jealous. But yeah.
Sorry, we're not getting to all these comments, but they're hilarious. I encourage everyone to have a look through them. Barry, the hair dryers. To be honest, I actually don't think I've used one. So I'm not one that can actually give you a bit of a hint on that one.
So there is a. I'll go back through again and put links updated in a pinned comment afterwards. But the hair dryers can't be taken on board. Hair straighteners can be taken on board. The Dyson hair straighteners that kind of act like a hair dryer can be taken on board.
It, yes.
So
I think it just seems to be just like the normal everyday hair
anything
dryers.
that basically has a heating element per se, they don't let on board. So,
but they don't come with a lot of the ones on board. Don't come with all the attachments. So Barry, if you're trying to style your hair in a certain way, may not be the right thing. But if you're just trying to get it dry, probably perfect for it.
Hales says she doesn't rate the hair dryers.
There you go. Thanks for that, Hales. Appreciate that.
And Kerry's similar. So,
all right.
Yes.
I think there was there's some comments up a bunch of
just acknowledge this one quickly.
Oh.
Definitely, Amy, totally agree. We should do that. We will be in touch to arrange something. Where are we?
There seems to be a little bit of chat around casinos and about the responsible rules on board. Yes, it's exactly the same as here in Australia. So the responsible gambling, but I mean, it's encouraged. And for those who are gamblers, there are all the rewards programs and that. So make sure if you are somebody that spends time in the casino that you do go and have a look at all the different rewards programs and
do it responsibly.
That's it. And, you can earn points, which then can equate to free cruises and all sorts of different things. So, yeah, if you want to have a look at that, by all means, make sure you go down to the counter in the casino and get all the information for it.
Yep. Well, all right, let's try and sort of we're getting close to an hour now. Yes. So thank you to everyone who has stayed on as long as you have. A couple of quick questions. There was one I did see in there about internet a minute ago.
Oh, yeah, I did see that one. What's the internet like?
What's the internet like at sea?
It's awesome.
Look, it depends. Well, look, it is nowadays. It is vastly different. Yeah. Caroline, I don't know if you've had any experience with internet recently on any cruises.
No, not on the one that I took in 2016, I think it was just into the islands.
Yep.
And I don't even remember if I had the internet package. I bought it this time because I've got the key.
Yep.
So, yeah, I'm hoping it'll be okay. Might be a bit spotty.
No, it's really actually in most.
Look, it is. I'm going to say it is vastly improved from what it used to be. A couple of years ago, the internet was pretty spotty. Royal Caribbean have upgraded to Starlink now, so they have Starlink internet, which gives magnificent coverage. Particularly if we've been out to the islands on a couple of trips with Quantum in the last 6 months. We've been on 2, and the internet was absolutely magnificent during that. But that's not to say that it'll be magnificent when we're out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. So we require internet for work. So and we've got the key. So we're hoping that it'll be fine. It'll be definitely good enough to do emails and things. But don't go on there expecting to stream, your latest favorite Netflix series every day of the week is sort of the advice I'd give. Or do video calls necessarily all the time.
Look, we haven't had an issue, but it's never sort of let us down too much. So I think it is, so much better than it once it has been. I just want to acknowledge there's lots of love for you coming through, Caroline. Just say thank you for all the doing the group, and we do appreciate so much that you've joined us so we can have these conversations and help people out as much as we can.
Thank you.
We're all going to be doing it together very soon.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, look, thanks, Amber, for that lovely comment about Caroline. Carenza? I hope I got that right. I'm terrible with pronouncing names. My apologies if I slaughtered that. But yeah, so yeah, again, as everyone's saying, Caroline, your work, and we know you have a partner in there now working with you. So it is a lot of work. Thank you so much to you both for everything you're doing, for you keeping the group going from those early days, and for all the activities. So again, if you are on the Transpacific Cruise out of Hawaii heading to Sydney, jump onto the Facebook group that is very well managed by Caroline.
Otherwise, I hope this helps. As I said, there's other people I know who are joining, who are going on future ones, who are just going to use these for a bit of tips and tricks. This video will be available after the live finishes for everyone to read through comments. Jump in and just leave any comments with us as well if you need to know anything else. Otherwise, jump into the Facebook group if you are going to be part of that one. Sorry.
I was just going to say, we will do one thing that I have lost in my notes here. I don't know where it's disappeared to. Is the check-in date is the
29th of August.
29th of August?
Yes. I think so. Everyone can jump in on that date.
One last question that we will do about this is, or answer I'll give, midnight port is the port time, so where we're departing from. So it'll be midnight Hawaii, Honolulu time is when the check-in will open on that date, being
29th of August.
29th of August at midnight. There you go. So you need to figure out what time zone you're in and how that matches up. In the next couple of days, I'll actually put in a little ready reckoner for the Facebook group to
good job.
to do that. Lisa, laundry. Sorry, I did say I was going to come back to laundry. Laundry? Do you want to talk about
want me? Sorry.
You want to talk about laundry?
There is no laundry.
No.
Is a question. On Royal Caribbean ships, there is no laundry that you can go and do your own washing. So they do have a service that you can, as Matt's just put up, there's some costs. Obviously, it's not cheap by any stretch of the imagination. So you can get things done and sent out, but you cannot take your items to the laundromat like on other cruise ships at all. So as Matt said, I have done a video, which he's going to put up shortly, of some ideas that I've had, a little bag that I found that I could do my own little smalls laundry in, and how you can hang up lines in your rooms and out on your decks if you've got balconies and things like that. But no, on this cruise in particular, it's going to be washing in the shower or washing in the bags that I provided. And
yeah, so we will have that video coming up. That will drop on Saturday, but it is called the scrubber bag. Full video review. Deb's used it. We tested it on our Easter cruise on Royal Caribbean's Quantum of the Seas, and it was
otherwise you've
awesome.
got a shower and you've got a sink.
Yeah, and you just do it yourself.
And then get the clothesline. You'll see that also in my videos on how to hang those up. So they're fantastic.
Okay, all right. We could keep chatting for hours, Caroline.
Keep going. Thank you so much for joining us, Caroline. We so much appreciate it tonight.
Well, thanks for having me.
And we'll all keep chatting.
And King George apologised there before. I just wanted to say it's all good.
No
worries.
I agree. I saw that.
It was his son that made the comment.
Yeah.
Saw that.
Yeah.
Saw that. It's kids near keyboards. I've learned to just tape their hands up and
just
kidding.
But we'll all just keep chatting over the next couple of months leading up to our cruise, and we'll jump in and do another one of these between now and then.
Yeah, we'll do one possibly for the 50 days. we'll be on a cruise.
Oh,
So we might try and do one from the cruise that
Ooh.
we're on
if the internet
for the
holds
50
up.
days. We'll test that internet out for all of you. But we'll do that because that's a good time because it's just a few days before the check-in opens.
Yeah.
Uh,
Appreciate everyone that has joined us tonight. Thank you so much for that. Yeah. Any other questions?
Caroline, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? Please just drop them in the Facebook group or on our channel, and we'll see you all guys soon.
Good night, Caroline.
Good night.
Night, everyone. See you in the next live.
Bye.
Bye. And that's it. Thank you, everyone. We've really enjoyed having you with us tonight in the live chat. Some great questions we will go through. If there is anything that we missed, we'll make sure we jump in and respond to those as well. Hope you've enjoyed it. This is a lot of fun. We'll see you in the next one.
See you later.
Bye.